Playing more is not how you're going to get better at Osu. Everyone talks about how top players have played the game more than you have, and that's why you suck. Are we just expected to spend months or even years in these training arcs while we watch other players rocket to the top in the fraction of the time? Isn't there something else that they're doing that we aren't? At this point, wouldn't it be more accurate to say that playing more has actually hurt improvement? Well, it turns out the answer is complicated. See, there's a paradox here. On one hand, it's true that the more you play Osu, the more experience you'll have, and the more experience you have, the better you'll become at the game. But on the other hand, if you just play Osu mindlessly, without any focus or intention, you're not gonna improve very quickly. Did you catch that? If you just play Osu mindlessly, without any focus or intention, you're not going to improve very quickly. You are more likely to plateau or even decay in rank than improve enough to rank up. And this isn't a concept limited to Osu. Just take a look at the learning process of playing any instrument. The piano, bagpipes, the yai bahar, violin, didgeridoo. I used to play the violin, so we'll go with the violin as an example. As with most things in life, you start learning how to play the violin through making mistakes. So you can imagine when you first start learning to play a violin, you do indeed have to play more. You have to play the violin more to allow your body to get used to maintaining the proper posture and hand placements for extended periods of time. You have to play more than the amount of what you're used to playing. Then there's getting the basics down. The only way to get the rudimentary basics of playing a violin is to play through those exercises. These exercises can take form in both simple to play songs and actual exercise sheets that aim to drill the coordinated movements down into muscle memory. This translates into developing proper muscle memory for tapping and aiming in Osu. This is where I believe the steepest part of the learning curve is for a lot of Osu and violin players alike. You know what else is really steep? Trying to make good Osu content. I have some genuinely ambitious ideas for the community, but I will not be able to pull it off without your support. The more this channel grows, the bigger the content becomes. So please subscribe and like the video. So after that initial learning curve, you're opened up to specific skill sets that can be trained and used when playing more advanced songs. Once I got to this point myself in my school orchestra, the topic of quality came into the picture. This is the part where many of us end up falling into a trap. You see, you may have heard of practice makes perfect, or rather, it is perfect practice that makes perfect. Now, acknowledging how perfection is a human concept that does not exist in its absolute nature, striving to get as close to perfection in the quality of your practice will lead to a higher quality performance. So going back into Osu, once you have reached a certain level of skill and performance, you will start needing to focus on the quality of your practice. Now that makes sense and all, but what about this as a trap? Ah yes, well, when you want to learn an instrument, you start taking classes to learn that instrument in a proven structured way. When you want to learn how to play Osu, you're just out there in the dark, man. You end up in some top player's live stream chat, asking how to get better, and they just tell you to play more. And it is logical advice. You can't go around saying you want to be able to stream 270 BPM death streams and then continue to play 1-2 jump maps, right? You gotta play more maps that build you up to streaming that fast. But it is not the same as having a personal instructor guide you through each level of progression. I know that Osu coaches exist now, but it's still a relatively new thing that hasn't formed a proven structure. There isn't anything like a violin class for Osu. In reality, not having this proven structure to learn the game leads us to fuck around and find out. Sometimes it works out, but most of the time, we just end up taking what we're told and play more to our own detriment. I'm kind of talking about myself here. I've spent many years stuck in this trap. I was stuck. My rank was decaying. My mindset was absolutely trash. I had the raw skill from playing more within the first 3 years of playing, but it was playing more that was holding me back. I convinced myself that I could play better by brute forcing myself through playing harder maps that were outside of my range of consistency, but it didn't play out that way at all. So what's the solution? The solution is to focus on quality over quantity. That is, you should focus on playing Osu in a way that will help you improve. This means playing maps that are challenging but not too difficult. Focusing on your accuracy and consistency first before playing something slightly uncomfortable. This also means taking breaks when you need them and not playing Osu when you're tired or frustrated. Seriously, when you let your mindset rot from pushing yourself too hard, it will show. If you keep this in mind, you will not end up spending years stuck playing in a trap. And speaking of quality over quantity, here's another example of why sheer quantity isn't always the best thing for Osu.